I've pulled up a couple resources on the left side of my screen. So the first one is an article, is ChatGPT leading generative AI? What is beyond expectations? And so this is a resource that I found that would probably help you with this, the past paper with blockers, barriers, boundaries, to kind of help get you started. But I want to show you the power of what you can do using the References tab in Microsoft Word. So as you are working, if you come across a reference that you're going to use, like the one I have on the left, if I click in my paper where I'm going to cite the source in the text and I go up to the References tab, I have several options there. And so the first thing I want to do is I want to make sure that I have set my APA. Now, right now, APA is set at 6th edition. And so in this version of Word, that's the latest version of APA I have. So I'm going to have to make some adjustments to this, but I want to start with the basis of APA 6th edition. So you may have a more up-to-date version of Microsoft Word that has 7th edition. That's fine. If not, in this video, I'll talk to you a little bit about the differences. So with that being said, say that I've made under first point, I've made my point, and now I'm ready to go in and add my in-text citation to go with that. So I want to click the Insert Citation button. So the first thing I got to do is I've got to choose the type of resource. And so this item on the left happens to be an article in a journal. And so I will go to article in a journal, and it gives me a form that I need to fill out in terms of my citation. So first it wants me to put in the authors. And so on the left, the authors are listed in order of importance. So your first author, it comes first, last name, so A-Y-D-I-N, comma O, initial for first name, you wouldn't type that out. And then in this, we'll go ahead and put a semicolon, and then from there, then it would be the second author, which is, okay, so I've got my authors in. So the title of the resource is ChatGPT. Now with APA, there's a couple things you need to know. In terms of the title, and I've already talked about this in last week's video, ChatGPT is a proper noun. It's the name of a tool, so I have to capitalize that. But other items inside of the title, I do not go ahead and type in capital letters when I'm adding them to this form. So leading would be lowercase, generative would be lowercase, AI or initials, we'll leave that as uppercase. The W, because it comes after the question mark, would be capitalized, is beyond expectations. Okay, so everything's lowercase except for ChatGPT, the AI acronym, and then the W after the question mark. So the journal name that this comes from, so the name of the journal is Academic Platform Journal of Engineering and Smart Systems. So I'll go ahead and I will right click and I will copy that, and I'll go over and add that to the journal name. So I'll right click and I'll paste and make sure it gets my A in there. Okay, so the year is 2023. Pages are 118 through 134. Okay, now there are a couple items that I already know that are missing, because if I go to the left, I can see there's the volume number, which is 11, the issue number, which is 3, and I have the DOI URL. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and click the button to show more fields. I don't need to know the publisher or the city or the month or day, but I do need to go ahead and add in the volume, which is 11, the issue, which is 3, and then I can go ahead and click OK. So that goes ahead and adds in my citation. Now, imagine it was a direct quote. So if it were a direct quote, what I could do, I would have quotations around the statement that I used. If I had a direct quote, I could go in and edit this citation, and then from there, I would put the specific page number of the quote and click OK, and it would format that so that now my citation is there and I have it when I need it. So if I needed to add that, like if later on in my paper, I'm using the same citation, if I maximize my screen a little bit, I can go into citations and I can open them on the right, and then I would just click where I needed to add that again, and I would double click. Now, when it adds it the second time, notice it doesn't have the page number. Maybe this time I paraphrased everything and it's in my own words, so there I wouldn't need to add the citation. So the next thing I need to do is I need to go into my references section. So when I go down to my references section, I want to delete out the statement that's already there, and I'm going to go up to my references tab again, and this time I want to click on bibliography. Now it gives two different options. It says bibliography and works cited. Now in APA 7th edition, it's actually titled references. So I'm going to choose bibliography because I'll change it. I've got to adjust it to be references, and so I will change my title. Okay, and then I will take the title that I have references already, and I'll highlight that, and I will use my format painter. So I'll go to home, format, and I want to reformat references. So there I go. So I can take out the one that was there by default. Okay, so everything in my citation is good, except for it's missing one last item, and that is the DOI URL. So I have to type in http:// and then that's when I'll go back over to my article and I'll grab only the numbers, and I'll right click and I'll copy and I'll paste. Okay, so all that information's there. So I have properly formatted, and that citation now meets APA 7th edition. Even though I use 6th edition, the things that are different between the two editions are made. So I want to show you something, one more thing real quick. There's another article I found that would go along with the same topic, and with that, it is, now that's social responsibility. Let me jump over to the information overload article. So information overload, let's say my third point comes from that information overload article. So what I'm going to do is I want to click at the end of that third point. I want to go back to my references tab, and I want to insert a citation, and I'll go ahead and choose to show all fields. And so then I'll go ahead and start adding in all of my information. So I can go back over and I can grab my title. So I'll highlight it, right click, copy. I'll go over, right click, and paste. Now remember, I got to make sure, now this one happens to be good in terms of capitalization, except notice the letter A after the colon is lowercase and it should be capitalized. So I'll go through and I'll just adjust that. So I'll make that a capital A. The authors, this is just one single author, and that is the journal name. This is in business research, so that's the journal name. We don't do a publisher city because it's an article in a journal. The year of publication is 2019. Month, day, we don't do that. Volume is 12. And then there is no issue number, and then pages are 479 through 522. Okay, and then the last item that we need, we'll go ahead and click OK there, so it'll put in our in-text citation. The last item we need is that DOI URL. So if I download the PDF and I open that up, I can access that DOI URL inside the article, and it's not letting me copy paste, so I'll have to manually type this one in. So I'll go down to my bibliography, and what I do, instead of typing it in, notice it didn't add that one, but if I click the down arrow for the heading for bibliography and I do update citations, it will automatically add them in alphabetical order, just like I need to do. So I'll go to the end of that reference and I'll put in a space and I'll do H. And so that way, again, you can add that citation in, everything's done properly in text, and you're ready to go. So you just, as you complete your paper and you work, you save your citations and everything's properly formatted. You don't have to worry about that. So hope that you find this, I know it's a little bit longer video, but I hope you find this useful as you continue through this course and the rest of your academic program.